Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Hadi al-Amin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidna ilman innaka anta al-alim al-hakim warhamna bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma amin. Imam al-Hakim rahimahullah ta'ala narrated the hadith in al-Mustadrak and al-Bayhaqi and al-Ba'th and said is sahih al-isnad. A beautiful hadith. Sayyidina Anas radiallahu anhu wa arda said that's one time we were sitting with Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam, and while we are there with the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, suddenly the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam smiled and he started laughing just by himself. And then we turned to him and we said, Ya Rasulullah, what are you laughing for? The Sahaba now are wondering what's going on. Then Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam said to them, he turned to them alayhi salatu wassalam, he said, رجلان من أمتي. He said, two men from my ummah will be sitting in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. So Allah show him this mashhad. So this is a mashhad of the future. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought it as a present to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam to see what's going to happen exactly. Then he said, two men, they'll be sitting on their knees in front of Allah in the day of judgment. And then one of them will turn to Allah and will say, Ya Allah, this is the one who wronged me, so please get all my rights from him. I need all my rights from him. That's he didn't give me in the dunya. Then Allah will say to him, then your brother, what do you want your brother to do? He lost all his hasanat. There's nothing left, which means that Allah gave him all his hasanat and nothing else left. Then he said, Ya Allah, this is the day. Allah trying to help the other one. So he said, but your brother has nothing to give you. So he doesn't even have hasanat. All his hasanat has gone. So Allah is asking the servant, so what's next? Allah knows, but Allah wants to take something from this servant and wants to teach him something beautiful. Then here, this man turned to Allah and said, Ya Allah, but this is the day of judgment. This day, everyone needs every single degree. Nobody can take a risk. There's a Jannah here and there's hellfire there, a serious situation. So, nafsi, only I want to save myself. I don't care about others. Then Allah, at that moment, will remove the divider from the Jannah and will make this servant, at that moment, able to see certain things that Allah wants to show him in Al-Jannah. Which is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove that and open it for him. Then the servant look up there and they say, oh ya Allah, I see there cities of golds and palace of golds and then he starts describing what he's seeing over there in Jannatullah. And then he say, Ya Allah, who is this? Which prophet who will get this one? Which messenger will get this one? Which Siddiq will get this one? So he's thinking now, this can't be for anyone. This has to be messenger, prophet, or a Siddiq. Something very big, something very high. This is a very special thing. Then Allah will say to him, oh, هذا لمن يملك الثمن. This is for the one who can afford it. And then this man said to Allah, wow, who can afford this, Ya Allah? Who can pay for this? Who has the price for this one? Then Allah said to him, you do. The man said, me? Allah said, yes, you do. You can afford this. You can take it. This could be yours now. The man started thinking, how? What should I pay? What should I give? And now the man forget about that man and forget about all his rights and forget about the dunya and his problem with this brother. The only thing that this man is focusing on and concerning on is this palace. He wants that palace in Jannah. He wants to live in that city in Jannah. He said, how can I do that? What should I do? What should I give? Tell me please. He's begging Allah. Then Allah said to him, only one thing. He said, what is it? I will do it. He said, forgive this miskin man. Forgive your brother. Just like that, yes, forgive him and this will be yours. Allah be witness, I forgive all. Completely, subhanAllah. Within a second, this man was able to forgive his brother. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to him, now, this is yours. Grab your brother's hand and walk together in Al-Jannah. He will get his share from maghfiratullah and rahmatullah in Al-Jannah, and you will get your share. And that's what I'll show you. Is made especially for you. This is custom for you, for your name. This is the reward of the maghfirah that you forgive. You forgive your brother about what he did against you in the dunya. Here, this hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, subhanallah, he start wondering, like, how did that happen? Then he smiled, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and laughed, and then he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fixed the problem between these two men in the dunya, these two brothers. They couldn't, nobody was able to fix their problem in the dunya, and they couldn't fix it to resolve the problem by themselves. Has to go to Allah in the Day of Judgment, and Allah Himself will take care of it. Then Rasulullah ﷺ said, اتقوا الله وأصلحوا ذات بينكم فإن الله يصلح بين المسلمين. So which means that, so fear Allah and set your relations right. Obey Allah and His Messenger. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fixed the relation between the Muslims, between the people in the Day of Judgment. Now, when you look at it, you see Allah, the God, the creator of all this life and akhirah and everything, He makes a time and by Himself fixing the problems between just two people in this dunya. Maybe He took his rights, some of his money or some of his wealth, and didn't give it to him. This man, he tried in the dunya to get this rights back. He tried so many things. Maybe he sent so many people to him. Maybe he went to court. He did everything he could, but it didn't. Then he gave up and he said, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. I leave this for Allah. In the Day of Judgment, I will meet you in front of Allah, and Allah will judge between me and you. Where are you going to go? You're not going to escape. You have to come back to Allah. Then it's gone. That man enjoyed the rights of his brother in the dunya, and this one was sabr. Then both has to end up in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah look at that case between both of them, and Allah Himself wants to fix the problem between them. Ya salam. It's amazing when you look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treats us and how Allah cares about us and about our relation. Allah could easily send that man to the hellfire for what he did, but that man learned a lesson. So Allah doesn't love to punish, but the punishment and the hellfire is something that presents the justice of Allah, because it has to be just there. But the rahmah of Allah, sabaqat ghadab Allah, it's always bigger and ahead of the ghadab of Allah, the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it shows you how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how important is the relation between people, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of it. If we don't fix it, we have to. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that islahu dhatil bayn, when you see two brothers or sisters or friends are the relation is damaged between them, come and try to fix it, because this damage is from a shaitan. So now fixing it is the job of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the consulting and helping people and fix their relation, bring them back together, push shaitan away from them and bring them back together. This is the job of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this month of Ramadan, again, there is still chance for those who still, they took the rights of others. There is a chance to return their rights back. There is a chance to fix your relation, brothers together, sisters, relatives, friends, everyone. Get back together, fix your relation, get back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're still enjoying the blessings of Allah in this month of Ramadan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to light up our way to Him and make us all the time see the akhirah in front of our eyes and witness Allah's blessings during the days and the month of Ramadan. Allahumma ameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. From our team at SRJ Chartered Professional Accountants, we would like to wish Noon Academy and all of their members a blessed Ramadan. We hope that everyone is staying safe with their families in these times and are taking full advantage of these programs being offered by Noon Academy. Ramadan Mubarak.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin al-Mursali rahmatan lil alameen. Allah Ta'ala proclaims, O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, that you may have reverential fear, for days numbered. But if any one of you be ill or on a journey, it is a number of other days, and for those who can bear it, the ransom of feeding a poor person. Whosoever volunteers good, that is better for him, and the fast is better for you, if you but knew. The month of Ramadan is the month wherein the Quran was sent down as a guidance to mankind, as clear proofs of guidance and as the criterion. Let him among you who is present fast during that month. And whosoever is ill or on a journey, it is a number of other days. God desires ease for you. He does not desire hardship for you. It is so that you may complete the number and magnify Allah, litukabbiru for having guided you, that haply you may give thanks. When my servants ask thee about me, truly I am near. I answer the call of the caller when he calls. So let them respond to me and believe in me, that they may be led aright. We're entering into the second third of this blessed month. The middle of the month is one when the energies of people begins to decline. This is the month, or the time of the month, to renew our commitment to the fast and to be as present as we can with it throughout the day and in the evenings and at nights. The Ramadan is a mukaffir, it's an expiation for the entire year, especially if those 6 days of Shawwal are observed. Just as the Jum'ah, the Friday, expiates the sins of the week, just as each of the 5 daily prayers wash away the sins of the day. So if you miss the 5 prayers, what good is the Friday prayer? If you miss the Jum'ah prayer, what good is Ramadan for you? And if you miss Ramadan, what good is the year for you? The fruits of Ramadan are tasted, or they're reaped throughout the year. You charge your faith in this month, just as the fruits of the Friday prayer are tasted throughout the week, and just as the fruits of each prayer are tasted throughout the day. If there is taqwa, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, if there is a God consciousness that is observed through the ritual. This is the month where we narrow the passageways of the devil who flows through our blood veins, and we narrow his passageways with hunger. We're teaching our qareen, our demonic comrade, to fast. Ramadan teaches a shaitan that flows through you hunger and breaks it, allowing the human being to restore the physical and ethical life. Because when we're hungry, we become more God conscious. When we weaken the body, the lower nafs, with its appetites, has less of a hold upon us, if this is done in the prescribed manner. When we narrow the passageways of a shaitan, we can keep control of the tongue. We can take hold of it. We can abstain from telling lies, from backbiting. We can close our ears to what is reprehensible. And the fact that we're placed in a quarantine diminishes the fitnas that are typically assaulting us day and night in our day-to-day lives. So this extraordinary Ramadan is one that brings with it many hidden blessings, and may we take advantage of those blessings. May the fast be a shield for our body, our mind, our heart, our ruh. May the fast, which is a non-action or an act of restraint, may it please our Lord. May this act of doing nothing, so to speak, for the sake of Allah, just as He prescribed for us. May it attract divine love and reward. May the two joys that are promised for the one who fasts inspire us to continue striving on the path. لِلصَّائِمِ فَرْحَتَانِ. The one who fasts experiences two joys. One is when he breaks his fast. That's a time-dependent joy. The other is when you meet your Lord. That's in the hereafter. But that encounter is anticipated in the here below, in taqwa. Because taqwa is to be present with your Lord. And if you're present with your Lord here in the here below, in the dunya, you're meeting Him in a sense. And in that encounter through taqwa, there is a joy, or you taste and anticipate the joy of the divine encounter in the hereafter through your taqwa, by emptying yourself of your own self, of self-worth, self-grandeur, self-importance, self-maintenance, through self-restraint. You then fill yourself with an enhanced sense of God consciousness, of taqwa. You turn from gazing at yourself to gazing at your Lord. And what reward could be greater in the here below than to be present with your Lord and to rejoice in your presence with your Lord in anticipation of a presence and an encounter with your Lord in the hereafter. This is why we bring our taqwa to every act throughout the day. We seek to break our fast with taqwa. Allahumma laka sumt, ala rizqika aftart. For you I fast, and upon your provision, or with your provision, I break it. In you we believe, in you we trust. We bring taqwa to the simplest act of breaking our fast, experiencing joy in the act of breaking the fast and in having God consciousness as we do so. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that you may have taqwa. وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ, that you may glorify your Lord. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, that you may give thanks. وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ, that we may have rashad, right guidance. When we cultivate God consciousness and presence with our Lord throughout the day and throughout the fast, and as we break our fast and as we stand in prayer at night, we begin to express gratitude for the blessings that God has given us. And in expressing our gratitude, we also express gratitude for the blessing of expressing gratitude.
Do you remember a time when you have come back from an event after hearing an amazing lecture? The speaker's words still echo when you imagine it. Muslim Sound will ensure each one of your events will feel and sound like a live cinematic experience. We cater to Muslim culture needs, providing high-quality sound, video, and top-of-the-line audio-visual equipment. We all remember those events where nothing seemed to be going right. Think about low or disturbing sounds and interrupted video that can impact your image in front of your dear and special audience. Whenever you are planning an event, at the masjid, at a convention, at a wedding, at a banquet hall, at your business, or at your home, please let us hear your voice so you can experience all your events with Muslim Sound.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Welcome back to another youth segment. I welcome all the family members and the youth. Today I want to talk about the situation that you and I have been in for the past month or two with being in quarantine and self-isolation with our family members. And to top it off, we're experiencing that entire situation in the month of Ramadan. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obviously accept all of the good that we do in these times and give us a sabr to deal with them, and give us the ability to understand his teachings and his Prophet ﷺ's teachings and practice them as best as possible. Now, what's interesting, one lesson just by being in self-isolation and quarantine, all of these things, is that it's really interesting that we're used to a certain type of lifestyle. We're accustomed to it, right? A lot of people living in North America and in the West, we have such a good life, alhamdulillah, that we're used to pretty much doing whatever we want whenever we want. And now when we're told to stay in our home for the past month or two, and obviously in the month of Ramadan, we're told not to eat and drink at the same time. Now it seems like this whole, it seems like a punishment or a test or just some type of very difficult situation. But in reality, there's people throughout the world. I heard this from a public figure that said the same thing when he was asking us all to donate for the people that are across the world that are suffering on a day-to-day basis, right? The people in all different types of Muslim countries that experience the same type of situation of not having food or water throughout the year and not being able to go outside and play and do whatever they want because they live on a day-to-day basis not knowing where their next meal is going to be, and they live not knowing what they're going to do next, and they're making do with whatever they have. If you even search videos and articles about the types of things that children and families are doing to pass their time, to enjoy the little bit of time they have to enjoy, that you and I, if we were to look in their situation, we would not see any way that we would find any type of entertainment. When things are broken everywhere that you go, when you step outside of your house, when there's buildings broken, right? When there's no type of TVs or electronics at our disposal, when there's no food at our disposal, right? When we walk around, there's garbage and rubble every direction that we go. We can't imagine that. But when we see someone in that situation, it's really hard to imagine them even having some level of entertainment. But they make do at those times. You'd be surprised. I was surprised. I was shocked that there's people out there. They're trying their best to cope with the situation that they're in. They're making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and at the same time they're doing whatever they can to entertain themselves or have fun and play games if possible even. So if you look at their situation, as the Prophet ﷺ teaches us, that whenever you're going through a type of situation, look at the people before you. When a Sahabi came to the Prophet ﷺ, he asked the Prophet ﷺ to ask Allah, make dua that Allah removes this difficulty upon them. When the Muslims were being tried and tested by the enemies and they were hurting the Muslims and they were going through tough times, the Prophet ﷺ said that look at the people who came before you. They were tortured in much, much worse situations, right? That's what he reminded them as. And that's what we have to remind ourselves, that look at the people before us and look at the people currently. Like when we start thinking that, we don't have enough, when we start thinking that, our situation is difficult, we got to look at somebody who has even worse than us. It makes our problems look very, very small. What I'm trying to get at is that in the situation that we're all in, right, we don't have quarantine or self-isolation or Ramadan every single day of the year for our entire life, right? Quarantine and self-isolation and this disease, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove it and cure all those that are infected and bring ease and sabr to the families that have had lost ones from it, and the Muslims that have passed away, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them Jannatul Firdaus. But this just recently happened, but the rest of our life we were living, alhamdulillah, very well, right? Ramadan came once a year. So it's not like we were in this situation every single day. There's people living like this literally every single day of their entire life. So right now we're in a situation where we're with our family, we're with our parents every single day, right? For the past month or two. And I'm sure it's getting to our head. It's getting to the children's head, and it's getting to the parents as well. It's becoming frustrating. It's becoming difficult to deal with our family members, right? And it's not easy. But I want to remind myself and all of us that, you know, this situation that we've been actually blessed with, to be in the company of our parents and our family members. We've been forced to it because majority of people are not working or going to school, and they've been forced to be in their homes in self-isolation and quarantine with their families, right? So if we look at it from a positive perspective, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a chance to be with our families and our parents more than we ever had our entire life because of this situation. Not only that, we're in it in the month of Ramadan, right? And we know how valuable the parents are, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, that establish the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا, that establish that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one and worship none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And right after that he says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, that show ihsan, show the best of character, show the best of actions to your parents. When he says that right after his ibadah and his oneness, think about how valuable the parents are. And now we're given this golden opportunity to be in their presence every day for more time than we've ever been. So as difficult as it is, children, youth, I'm one of you. I know how it feels to be around your siblings and your parents. It's not easy. And it's not easy for the parents to be around the children and their family all that long as well. But think about it this way. For us to treat our family well is the essence, one of the biggest essences of why we're here. That if we can establish good character with our parents, with our family members, then we can spread that nur and that good character throughout the entire society that we're walking on. But it starts with the family. The good deeds, the spirituality, the good character, it starts with the family. Right? And we're given this amazing opportunity to do good deeds, to do good things for our parents. Let's take advantage of it. Let's do it with a positive attitude. It's not easy. I'm going to say it again. It is not easy. May Allah make it easy for the children to be good to their parents and their siblings. May Allah make it easy for the parents to have sabr with their children and be good to them as well, to give them their rights and vice versa. Right? And when I'm talking again to the youth, please, parents and elders and older brothers and sisters, please don't point fingers at them. Don't pull up this ayah or this lecture or this video and point fingers like, hey, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you have to be good to me, right? That's not the point here, right? The point is for ourselves to make ourselves better, right? Inshallah, everyone will understand at their own pace, but the biggest thing that we have to do is make an effort. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us to be good to one another, to be good to our family members, to be good to our friends, and allow this situation that we're in, this quarantine or this Ramadan that we're in, to be a means of us entering into Jannah, be a nur for us, be filled with barakah and ease for us in this dunya and this akhirah. And may Allah make it easy for all of us and accept all of our good deeds and all ibadat in this month of Ramadan and onwards. With that we conclude, and until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا